UFC 326 goes down later on today, and I'm going to go through the entire card, give you my predictions for every single fight, probably. I might skip a couple of them. And yeah, we've got some other stuff to talk about today. We've got Tom Aspinall signing with Eddie Hearn. We got Francis Ngannou leaving the PFL. Patchy makes his fight outside the UFC. We've got lots to talk about. So we'll start off with the main event. I've already done an entire video individually breaking this down, so I'll keep this one short. I'm going with Max by TKO in round 4. If you want to see my reasoning and all that stuff, go watch that video. I'm not going through it again. We'll go to the co-main event. Caio Borralho versus RDR. I'm going RDR. I know basically every single person is picking Caio Borralho in this fight, and this could end up being a very bad prediction, but I'm going with RDR. You know, that last fight, I think, made people think that he's just fucking shit, which I can understand. But I think he looks a lot better this fight week, like physically, and he's talking better. And obviously in that last fight, he had fought 5 or 6 times in the space of like 12 months or something. Well, I don't think it was that much. I think it was like 4 times in 11 months or something like that. And I think he fought just before he came over to the UFC as well. And you can see he was burnt out, you know, training that many training camps, going through fights. You know, that was a 5-round fight against Rob. He took some big shots in it. It wasn't like he was running through guys and he was taking no damage. He was taking damage in this fights as well. So, and like the GM3 fight was a bit of a scrap. So I do believe, you know, a lot of the time we'll see fighters make excuses. I do believe him in this one. You could see just physically what shouldn't have been in there. And I think he'll be able to beat Caio tonight. I'm going to go by decision. I think Caio's very overrated. But not necessarily by like fans, but the market's overrating him. He's a minus 300 favourite in this fight. I don't know what the fuck he's shown to be a minus 300 favourite over basically anyone in the division. But so I'm definitely not going to be betting on Caio. I'll probably put someone on RDR, but I'm going to go with RDR by decision. Even though Caio's the cleaner striker, RDR is probably more effective. Like, he's more damaging shots than knees to the body. He's dangerous in the clinch. Like, Caio's going to want to keep him at range and fucking sting up the place. RDR's going to be coming forward, putting the pressure on him. And we have seen him get cracked before. Rob caught him when he was just walking in like a fucking idiot and everything, but I'll go with RDR by decision. I don't think Caio's good enough to, you know, take advantage of RDR's mistakes. He'll probably land a couple of times. He'll probably drop. I don't know if he'll drop RDR, but it'll probably hurt him a couple of times. But yeah, I don't think it'll be enough to get the win. You know, RDR beat Whittaker a year ago, less than a year ago. Like, he's a good fighter. He's a decent fighter. And Caio's not shown that to me yet. You know, he beat Jared in a scrap. He beat who else? He lost every round to Imavov. I went back and watched it. There's maybe a round you can give to him, clearly. And that's it. He beat, Paul Craig. Like, he's not done anything, like, big in this. He's not beaten anyone, like, elite. I don't know. I know RDR hasn't either, but I'd say Rob's closer to being elite, you know. Rob was elite. He was out of his prime when he fought RDR, but Caio's not beating anyone good in their prime either. And he's fought worse guys. I know, like, a guy's resume and record isn't a reason to pick him in a fight, but it is something to point out, and I do think RDR has a decent style. He's got the grappling upside as well. I didn't even talk about that. He's got a big grappling upside in this fight. I think he can if he gets the fight down to the ground, he probably wins that round. I don't know if Caio will be able to get back up. So yeah, I'll go RDR by decision. Although this is a pick that could look very bad by the time the fight finishes. So we'll go to the next fight. Rob Font, Raul Rosas. I'm going Rosas by decision. I think he'll use his grappling in the first couple of rounds, win the first couple of rounds pretty easily, and then yeah, I think he'll start to gas out a bit. Font will win the 3rd round. There'll be a bit of a moment where it's like, oh shit, you know, he might finish him here. But I don't think he will. We've seen Font, his takedown defense is not good. Grapplers have always been his weakness. He's always lost to them. We've seen him get taken down and held down by guys like Corey, Corey is one of the top guys in the division. But getting held down like that for 25 minutes against Corey with one arm, it shows his grappling ain't there. And for the top of the division. And I think the UFC knew what they were doing with this fight. I think this is the easiest stylistic matchup for him to get into the top 15, which is why they've given him Font instead of someone else, like a Mario Batista or something. I don't know. That'd be too much of a step up in competition. And Rosas hasn't beaten anyone good. His best win, maybe Ricky Tercios or something like that. I think his name's Morales, guy he fought last time. He's not beating anyone elite. He's not beating anyone even ranked. He lost to Rodriguez. He gassed out. So, but I do think you'll be able to. This is making me sound like I'm picking Font, but I do think you'll be able to beat Font by decision. But there'll be moments where it's like, oh shit, he's not ready for the step up in competition yet. So yeah, I'll go Rosas by decision. This next fight, Dober versus MJ. I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson by first round KO. I think he's too quick. I think he's gonna be piecing up Drew the whole time. And Drew, he was such a durability merchant in his prime, you know. And now that that's gone, like once a fighter with a chin as good as Dober, once they get chin for the first time, their chin can rapidly decline, and we've seen it. I don't know how he didn't get knocked out. I know he technically did on the record, but I don't know how he didn't get knocked out by Gene. You know, he got chin by Favola, he got chin by Manuel Torres, and he's been getting hurt a lot more in fights recently. Even Prepelec caught him a couple of times. He was losing to Carl Prepelec. Like, come on. I'm gonna go with MJ. Straight 1-2s down the middle. I think this is gonna be there all day. Dober doesn't move his fucking blockhead. And yeah, I think he'll knock him out in the first round. We do know, you know, Dober usually locks in for certain fights. I'm not going to say anymore. But so maybe this will be the best version of Drew Dober we've ever seen, and then he can get that Bobby Green rematch that he really wants. So yeah, I'll go MJ by knockout first round. He's on a pretty decent run right now. I think he'll be like 6-2 in his last 8, with one of the losses being a robbery if he wins this fight. So maybe we see him in the ranking soon. Who knows? Yeah, I'll go MJ. Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira, whatever his fucking name is. I'm gonna go Ferreira by KO. We've seen them fight before. Jesus, the fucking height and difference is insane. But the size difference with this one is crazy. But I'm still going Ferreira. You know, we've seen them fight before. He knocked him out in a round, and I think it's gonna be the same. You know, RoboCop's chin fucking sucks, but it gets hidden because he doesn't get knocked out that much, if you know what I'm trying to say. Like, Ferreira knocked him out. He got knocked out by Jared, but he kind of just quit. He got knocked out in the Contender Series by a guy at welterweight, who's a welterweight, sorry, and who then went on to get finished by Mickey Gall or something like that. I think it was Mickey Gall. Like, he's had some bad fights, you know, bad looks. And even, let's go on his record, like, you know, Jack Hermanson was tagging him. Kopylov caught him a couple of times. He looked really... I know he won dominantly, kind of, against Kopylov. But, like, he didn't look good. Kopylov also looked shit. He was just backing up the whole time, doing nothing. Jared finished him, you know. CLD, he looked pretty good. But, again, like, even at the end of all his fights, his face is, like, busted up. He gets hit a lot. He doesn't take damage well. He gets rocked. Tavares hurt him. Like, if it wants to load. Ferreira knocked him out around. Chidi nearly finished him. Like, Marquez hurt him. He gets hurt a lot in these fights, and I think against Ferreira, especially with like Ferreira looking in way better shape than he ever has before, and already knocking out Rodriguez, and he's got crazy power. Rodriguez has no chin. I gotta pick Ferreira as an underdog again. I don't know why that's the line. I don't know why Robocop was minus 200. I don't know. Like, there's some weird lines on this card. They're probably all gonna win now that I've said that, but yeah, I'll go Ferreira. First round knockout. This next fight, Cody Garbrandt versus Xiao Long. I'll go Xiao Long just because I can't pick Cody Garbrandt to win a UFC fight in 2025. He's too washed. He got that face tattoo at the age of like 37 or whatever he is. Like, I cannot pick him to win this fight. Even though Xiao Long doesn't have a very good UFC record, he lost his last fight. You know, obviously I smoked him. He beat Lee. That's actually not a bad win. Lee's not really lost to anyone. But he beat Lee and then lost. Okay, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure I watched this fight. I'm pretty sure he should have won, but he got robbed. And I'm pretty sure this is Quang Lee, right? Who's lost to Luna. Yeah, he lost to Luna. And I'm pretty sure outside of that, like, he beat Bolaños, who kind of sucks, but you know, he's not bad. I think sure he lost this one as well. But I'll go with Long. You know, he's younger. He's had 37 pro fights at 27 years old. And we know that sometimes when a guy comes over from China, their age isn't right. So I don't think he's 27. I think he's like 32. But I'll pick him to beat Cody. Cody's washed. No chin. And yeah, it's just... I'm never picking him again. Even though he looked alright against Barcelos, he still got dropped and sold the fight. So fuck it. I'll go Xiao Long. This next fight, we got the GOAT Cody Brundage making his return against Dante Johnson. Cody's going to lose, let's be honest. He is literally middleweight Anthony Smith. The more that I think about it, Like, all his losses are the same as Smith's. He just curls up in a ball and just accepts getting beaten up. And he gets finished from it. And I think it's going to happen again here. I think he'll survive the first round. Because I think Johnson, although most of his wins come by first round knockout, obviously in his last fight we saw it go to the second round against Dumas. I think it'll be the same here. I think Cody will survive the first round by doing nothing. And then he'll get rocked, shooting for a takedown, hide, like curl up in the ball and accept getting ground and pound shots landed on him. And he's going to get finished. That is exactly how this fight will play out. Watch this. This is where Cody gets a first round knockout. But yeah, I'll go Johnson by round 2 TKO. Cody Brundage quitting. And unfortunately, that's probably the last of Cody Brundage in the UFC. He'll be like 11-9 at this point, his overall record. Like 5-9 in the UFC. There's no way they can keep him about. I saw his Tapology the other day. I did not know he had 5 UFC wins. I can think of one with that Zachary slam. And I think he beat Marquez or something. Or he beat someone and the ref, the only reason he did was the ref. He was getting pieced up. His mouthpiece came out and the ref stopped the fight to put his mouthpiece back in and then he got a knockout win. I think that was last year. But outside of that, I can't think of a single win he's got. And even that one was bullshit. So, yeah, I'll go Johnson. I think he's pretty decent for middleweight. He's a big guy. He's knocked out heavyweights before, you know. That's not really that impressive when they're all cans, but fuck it. I'll go Johnson. I think he can do decent in the division. This next fight, we got Ricky Tercios versus Venezuelan Ilia Topuria. I'll go with Montez by sub. Tercios sucks. He just kind of runs in like an idiot. Swinging big shots. You know, like when he fought fucking, who was it? Raul Rosas. And he comes out, doesn't touch gloves, gives him a middle finger, starts shouting fuck you across the cage, and then taps out 2 minutes later. I can never pick a man who did that. You know, you can't do that. If you start a fight by rejecting a glove touch, flipping them off, and then telling them fuck you, you can't then, even if you lose, you got to at least lose like Gaethje did against Max, just swinging. Or you got to lose like a fight of the year decision. If you're going to lose after doing that, it's got to be something like that. You can't get taken down and tapped out by a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, I can't pick you after that. That is a crazy, like, aura loss. I don't want to say that sounds gay. But, like, I'm never picking Ricky Tercios again after that. And Montez is also pretty decent, so I'll go with him by sub, I think. I don't know. Finish. Next fight, Cody Durden versus, I'm not even going to try to say his name. I think Cody's going to lose. I think he'll get, I don't know. I would say decision, but he's probably going to get subbed or something. This guy's got nice front chokes. Durden's chin's gone, so probably it could be a club and sub situation. But yeah, I'll go with Temendemera. I need to see Joe Rogan trying to pronounce his name last night at the weigh-ins. I'm gonna go back and look at that after this. But yeah, I'll go with him by sub. I guess I don't fucking know. Maybe a lot of submissions on this card. Who knows? This is the type of card. I'm getting pissed off now. This is the type of card that's gonna end up being really good entertainment-wise. There's gonna be a crazy like amount of finishes. If we just go through the card. There's no way the main event's boring. Cairo versus RDL will probably be a decent scrap. Font versus Rosas, that could be boring. Dober versus MJ, someone's probably getting chinned. Robocop Ferreira, someone's getting chinned. Cody, very good chance he gets chinned by just a gust of wind. If they don't shut the doors when he's fighting, he's going out cold. Johnson Brundage, guaranteed to finish. Montez probably finishes Tercios. Durden probably gets finished. Like, these first 2 fights will probably end by finish. Sumu Dachi could easily just get nuked by an overhand right or something. Like, it's going to be a sick card entertainment-wise, which is why I'm excited for it. But, like, it's not a good card. Like, these guys shouldn't be on pay-per-views, you know. Drew Dober shouldn't be on pay-per-view main cards. So this is going to be really entertaining. And then people are going to be there like, oh, see, the UFC, man, it is so good. I can't believe people doubted Dana White and stuff. And then it's going to start glazing the UFC. And then we're going to get more fucking cards like this where there's 3 ranked people on a pay-per-view. So yeah, that was just a little rant there. But yeah, I'm going to go, what have we got here? Sumu Daji versus Aguilar. This card's going to be good and it's going to piss me off. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to go with Sumu Daji by KO. Not KO, by decision. But he could just easily get knocked out by Aguilar. Aguilar's got good power. He's a fucking T-Rex. He has really short arms. So if Sumu Daji just fights like he did against Borjas, I know Borjas didn't do anything, he should win this easily. You know, Sumu Daji's not that bad, you know. He's had a couple bad losses. He kind of got robbed by Charles Johnson. I don't know how that was a unanimous decision. But he's a pretty decent guy. I think he's just outside the rankings. Whereas I don't think Aguilar's that close. I know he's got a few wins, but what? Luis Garule, was that his last one? Yeah. And like, Esteban beat him. Nick Cole's not that good. I don't even know who this is. This was the fight where he got nuked. He fought fucking Tyra. I didn't know that. I had no idea that fight happened. Like, he's beaten bums. And I don't think Sumo Deji's a bum. I think he's pretty decent, just outside the rankings. So I'll go him by decision. He's way taller. He's got way bigger reach advantage. I think he just keeps Aguilar at the end of his jabs, at the end of his kicks. He should win this fight pretty easily. So yeah, I'll go Sumo Deji. What the fuck? Okay, here we go. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name again. I'll go Tobias. What is... The UFC can't do anything right. Here we go. I'll go Tobias. He's pretty decent. I'm pretty sure he's only like 22. He did alright. I think it was Contender Series, his last fight. This guy sucks. He came in, had a bit of hype behind him. They made him a big favourite, and then he lost to Ribeiro. And I'm never picking him again after that. So he'll probably lose this fight and then get cut from the UFC. But yeah, I'll go with... I forgot his name. Tobias. Next fight, Hernandez Bellato. Again, Bellato's just a guy that I can never pick to win a mixed martial arts contest in the year 2026. So I'll go Luke Fernandez. He got 15-second KO on the Contender Series. I don't think that's going to happen here, but it could. When Bellato's not fighting, who's it? Petrino. He usually doesn't get chinned. You know, Pateria, is that how you say it? He basically had him knocked out. Paul Craig, we KO'd Bellato, and then the ref said he was down. But no, again, after that fucking acting performance, like, I'm never picking Bellato to win the fight. Fernandez is pretty decent, especially a light heavyweight. He'll probably go on a bit of a run, but yeah, I'll go Fernandez by KO. So those are my predictions for the card, but we got some more shit to talk about over the last couple of days. Dana White said last night, well, with Nina drama for some reason. I thought she was fucking off from MMA Twitter and the MMA community, but apparently not. So yeah, we got a UFC, obviously fight night, White House fight card is supposed to get announced tonight during the card, and apparently one of the fights has just fallen through last night. There was another clip, I don't have it here, of, I think it was one of the matchmakers. Was it Sean Shelby? I think it was Mick Maynard getting told by Hunter Campbell that the fight got cancelled and has fallen through, and you could see that he was actually like fully pissed off about it. So I think it's probably one of the main fights on the card. I know there was only 6 fights Dana was talking about, and the 7th, which I'm assuming now he will have to add. But it looks like it's a pretty big fight that's been cancelled, which I'm guessing we'll figure it out tonight. He might mention it, if not we'll probably figure it out. Like if Gaethje and Ilya isn't on there, maybe it'll, like... And then if there's only one title fight, then we know for sure it was a title fight, and that's when they were annoyed. But maybe it was like a Alex Pereira pulling out, but I doubt Pereira would pull out. It's also like 3 months out from the card, so for someone to fall out this soon, maybe it's like a Conor who was trying to return, but I don't know, because he's been on Twitter recently. Maybe it was a Jones, you know, he's not exactly the most reliable guy, but I don't know. So yeah, a White House fight's fallen through already before the card got announced. Bro, just nuke this fucking card. I don't want to see it, but yeah, whatever. White House card lost a fight, so yeah. There's that. We've also had Tom Aspinall sign with Eddie Hearn, and this came like a week after Dana White signed Conor Benn. So, why is this trend? Okay. So, I'm thinking this is Dana and Eddie like trying to take shots at each other. Tom and Dana obviously haven't had a good relationship recently. There we go, trend that. And I think this is Tom trying to get back at Eddie. And I think this is also kind of confirming. I've thought this for a while, but I think once Tom's fought out his UFC contract, 2 more fights, I don't think he's fighting in the UFC anymore. I think he'll either go over to another organisation or go box. I think he can do decent in boxing in terms of like, he can get big fights against... If he could go box Ngannou, he'd beat Ngannou in boxing right now easily. He's so much faster than him. Ngannou sucks, let's be honest. And if Ngannou was having a close fight with Fury, I know it is the worst version of Fury we've ever seen, and the Fury that fought Usyk would have knocked out Ngannou in 3 rounds. But still, if Ngannou, who has no boxing ability whatsoever, and is slower than Tom, the only thing he has over Tom is power. If he's doing that if he's having a close fight with the worst version of Tyson Fury, I think Tom can beat some pretty well-known heavyweight boxers. Just off athleticism. Like, no one talks about it as much with Tom as other guys. He is a freak athlete. His speed and size at heavyweight is crazy. And I think that alone, will be enough to have him, get him a couple wins in boxing. I don't think he's going to beat Usyk. I don't think he's going to beat Dubois. Wardley would beat him. Like, he's not going to beat any of those guys. But maybe like a decent... I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Maybe like a heavyweight that we've heard of before, who's only lost to some of the top guys. I think Tom could potentially beat them in a few years training. He is still only like 31, I think, 32. Well, he might be older now because his prime's getting wasted, but that's young for a heavyweight, you know. So I think if he leaves MMA and then trains just boxing for a few years with his just athleticism and being a freak athlete, and him also having decent boxing already just from training for all these years, I think he could do well. He'll make a lot of money as well, which is, I think, his end goal at this point. I think if he fights maybe Garn and Pereira or something like that and beats both of them, leaves with his legacy intact in MMA, I think then at that point he'll just get as much money as possible. So we could just see him take a couple big money fights in boxing and then retire, which I wouldn't mind for him, you know, after everything that's happened recently. So yeah, Tom and Eddie, yeah, I don't know what this means. I don't know if more UFC fighters are gonna, you know, want to join with Eddie Hearn. I feel like Eddie would want that, especially with how big the UK MMA scene is getting recently. I think if he can sign a couple more of the guys, and then maybe a couple guys from America or whatever, I think that'd be big for him, with him and Dana beefing and whatever's going on with them. But yeah, Tom signs with Eddie Hearn. So yeah, we also had Dana calling out Eddie for a boxing match a couple of days ago. I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but I want to see it, bro. Dana's a crafty vet. I know Eddie's decent at boxing as well, and Eddie's fucking huge, to be fair. Like, look, he's the same height as Tom. So I don't know, like, I'd want Dana to win. I don't like either guy. I don't like Dana right now, and I don't like Eddie. But I prefer Dana because obviously, like, he's the MMA guy, you know. He brought the UFC to where it is. If it wasn't for him, none of us would be watching this fucking sport, let's be honest. It would have died. And so I'd want him to win, and I do think there's a chance he gets, like, flatlined. But I don't know. It would probably just be some fucking shitty-ass fight. Maybe look like Andrew Tate's fight, something like that. Both guys just gassing out after 5 minutes. So maybe, fuck it, let's see it. Put it on the White House card. I tweeted out saying that I want to see it on the White House card. It got quite a few views. So maybe, fuck it. After that fight fell through yesterday, put this on there. What else we got here? Oh yeah, here's Tom again. After Conor Benn got signed for 15 million, Tom saying about how the MMA guys deserve this more, which they do, if we're being honest. Like, if Conor Benn's getting paid 15 million by Dana, there's no reason why like a Alex Pereira or Ilia Topuria can't make that much. They should be making more. I'm from the UK, so Conor Benn's bigger here than he is in America. And even over here, like, a lot of guys don't know him. I know people who are boxing fans, MMA fans, mostly boxing fans, and they barely even know Conor Benn. The only reason they knew him is because he fought Chris Eubank Jr. And the only reason they knew that fight was happening in the first place is because their dads, who were obviously, like, legendary boxers. I didn't know who Conor Benn was until, like, a year ago when he fought Chris Eubank. I'm not that big of a boxing fan, but I live in England, where obviously the UK boxing scene is big, and Conor Benn is amongst boxing fans well known. And if he's making 15 million when barely anyone in America knows him, and even in the UK not that many people know him, then I definitely think an Ilya, even like O'Malley, Izzy and O'Malley both also commented on this. I don't have the posts up, but I don't see why an MMA fighter can't be making that much. I don't want it to happen in terms of them making like 30, 40 million like some of these boxers do. But I definitely think some of the top guys should at least be making 6 million, like 8 million for a fight. Why is Volk not making at least like 6 or 7 million per fight, you know? Especially with this new Paramount deal. It's Volk, bro. Give him fucking 100 million, I don't care. But I don't want it to start... When people talk about fighter pay in the UFC, they say they make out as though they're getting paid nothing. Like, these guys are getting paid a decent amount. Like, there's fighters who are never going to be anywhere near the top level, who are millionaires from fighting. Like Bobby Green. What's the highest he's ever been ranked? Like 8th? Maybe a little bit higher. A few years ago. Well, like 10 years ago now. And he has fucking 4 houses or something like that. And like 8 kids. Like, and he's a millionaire. Like, they're getting paid a lot. They're getting paid more than people make out. But if people do really want to fix fighter pay, they need to stop making out as though these guys are making 15k for their 8th UFC fight when they're fighting for a number one contender in a number one contender fight. I seen people the other day saying Cavana made 20k from another Moreno fight. Like, let's chill out. We know these guys are getting paid decent amounts, but they do need to start getting paid more, especially at the top. And this Dana White and Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn thing, I think it's going to maybe start something where we do see these guys start to get paid more. And I don't know. Yeah, so it was Tom talking about it. it's bothered everyone. If one guy's 15 million, the other guy's getting 15k. That's a big difference, and it is true. That's about how much they make in their UFC debut most of the time, unless it's like a MVP coming over or something like that. So yeah, just pay the guys more, Dana. We need to just get rid of Dana. Maybe I do want Eddie Hearn to knock him out. Just get him out of the UFC. Someone else, bring someone else in. Fix everything. I don't fucking know. But yeah, that whole Tom thing. We're going to learn more about this soon when Tom comes back. But yeah. Oh yeah, I was talking about Ngannou just now. He's left the PFL. Maybe Dana was right about him this whole time. Once Ngannou left the UFC, I didn't believe that anything Dana said when he was talking about how hard he is to work with and all that shit. Maybe Dana was right. Maybe working with Ngannou is just shit and no one can do it. Because this happened now with the UFC. I think it happened a bit in boxing. Happened with his old coach. And now it's happening with the PFL where he's just not doing anything. Kind of like paid 5 times more. I don't know if I believe that, but whatever. Like he didn't even turn up for PFL Africa. He's not fighting anyone. Like, why is he not fighting Nemkov? You know, like, you're the best heavyweight in the PFL. Why don't you go fight Nemkov, who's just beaten Ferreira? They let him box twice just because of how well the Fury fight went, and he was only supposed to do it once. Now he's just not fighting for them. Didn't turn up for PFL Africa, and like, yeah. So I don't fucking know. Maybe Ngannou is a nightmare to work with. I don't know what I want to see from him next. He's not going to be back in the UFC. His next fight is probably going to be boxing. So maybe they do him versus like fucking Dylan White or something. I don't know. You could probably win that because White is just fucking washed. But yeah. Ngannou's left the PFL, and then we got one more thing here. Oh yeah, Patchy Mix. I'm not going to play it. Just go watch this. He got knocked out by a 19-year-old. He got knocked out by someone my age. Fucking hell. And a few years ago, I just tweeted this out as well. People were trying to make out as though Patchy Mix is the best bantamweight in the world. This is why we need to stop these fucking performative MMA fans who were there trying to make out as though the UFC is the worst thing ever because they don't like Dana. And yeah, Patchy Mix gets knocked out, got kicked out of the UFC, went over to Ryzen and got knocked out by a teenager, and got on the mic after and started saying shit. I don't know if he retired. I doubt it, but I saw someone say he did, so maybe. But yeah, that's everything for today. UFC 326 later on. I'm hyped. Kind of, not really. White House card's already fucked. Tom's with Eddie Hearn. Dana wants to fight Eddie. Fighters need to get paid more. And Ngannou's still a bitch. And Patchy Mix sucks. Yeah, tomorrow I might make another video before the card today. Probably not. It's already half full. Card's in like 6 hours. Yeah. Tomorrow I'll do fucking, I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'll break down the card after it happens. So yeah, Max by KO, book it or lock it in, whatever. Yeah, subscribe, all that shit. Go follow the Twitter. And okay, didn't even come into view. Yeah, thank you for watching.